Good morning, everybody. How's it going? It is 9:02 a.m. Mountain Time on Wednesday, November 10th. And hard to believe that the polka dot parachains are just about here. It's already almost November 11th, and this year has gone by in a breeze. So, wanted to keep today's video a little shorter, kind of because last video was over an hour long, only because I had gone a week, being sick and not doing a video, so I had a lot to cover. Wanted to go over the bond, the Barn Bridge price action yesterday. Talk about a little bit about what happened, what's going on with that, what my kind of strategy is through there, and wanted to bring up what's going on in the crypto world right now and what to look out for in the coming days and months, and that's where we're at. So we're going to go over some news articles. We're going to cover Bitcoin, which has reached 69,000. And we'll talk about where we're heading with that throughout the week and in the long term. And if you like that, hit the like button. And please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it very greatly. If you want to know when these videos come out, go ahead and hit the alert button as well, so you get the video right when it comes out. I do appreciate it very greatly. Also remember that none of this is considered financial advice. Everything in this video is for information and educational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. I am just a trader, but I do have my opinions, and I do want to share those with you. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into it. We're still in the heart of this meme coin kind of season where all these meme coins that really don't do anything have just been skyrocketing. Obviously, Shiba Inu is down like 40% from its highs, but let's talk a little bit about that and what's going on with that. So I know a lot of people hold Shiba Inu. To me, it seems kind of Ponzi-ish. Yeah, I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. I know they have a game with NFTs coming out and whatnot. There could be something behind that. I think they're better than Dogecoin. I think there's more to it than Dogecoin. But from what I see with traders and investors getting in Shiba Inu is they get really excited about this. They're going to burn coins, because every transaction burns coins. They're going to burn coins, and that's going to make the price go up. It just seems a little Ponzi-ish to me. Not to say that it can't adopt some good things like NFTs and the gaming. I think gaming is a very big part of crypto. But here's the trade, I think. So we have this news article. Robinhood COO praises Shiba Inu as crypto wallet waitlist grows to 1.6 million. When did Shiba Inu take off? It took off when it started to have the rumors of Robinhood listing, because crypto trades on Robinhood, and it trades a very, very high amount. It is the millennial marketplace, Robinhood, for all things meme. AMC, GameStop, things like that. Shiba Inu is looking to be the next one. Pressure is mounting for Robinhood to list one of the most popular meme coins on the market, and the waitlist for the platform's crypto wallet has grown to 1.6 million users. This is the big number right here. 1.6 million users. I mean, what's the average user going to invest? Well, we got, about 4,500 or something like that in checks from the government. I'd say it's probably about that much for your average retail investor, if not a little bit into their savings as well. One of my favorite things is seeing the community around these coins really engage with us and let us know what they want. I use the word community when I want to substitute the word cult. When you find a cult stock, not to offend anybody, but you do get cult stocks where people's following just gets incredibly large, and they just, no matter what, they're all in on it, and it's going to go up forever. And here's what I think is going to happen. So when things list on Coinbase, the price on Coinbase skyrockets, right? And then it's because everybody, okay, so let me all retail is now finally able to buy it because they only use Coinbase. They don't go to the extra lengths to use other exchanges or decentralized exchanges to where they could buy these things at. So so they're ready to buy it because they've heard their friends and their neighbors talking about it. They've seen it on the news now on CNBC. Shiba Inu was mentioned. So they're ready to buy it. They don't care at what price. Most people, don't study charts. They don't know when things go up 10,000, 20,000%. It's probably not a good time to buy, depending on the time frame. I mean, obviously, it went up, 1 billion%, I think, is from its launch a few years ago. Anyways, so what's going to happen is that everybody's going to move their Shiba Inu into the Robinhood wallet that they create, which will probably exist a couple days before trading for Shiba Inu actually exists. So they're going to move it over there because they know what's going to happen, right? Is that 1.6 million users are waiting to buy Shiba Inu, and people are very impatient people. And what's going to happen is as soon as it starts trading, all these 1.6 million users, maybe 1.5 million, are going to buy the crap out of it, and the price is going to skyrocket on Robinhood. Now, other exchanges will rise a little bit, but it's not going to be like on Robinhood because everybody's going to be placing market orders. So the people who move their money over to the wallets, right, 2 days before it started trading on Robinhood, are going to be selling into that heavy buying pressure. Very, very smart. And then that's going to be, I think, at least it for now. So if you hold Shiba Inu, something to think about. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to give you some extra thoughts that, what I would do in that situation. And I do hold a tiny bit of Shiba Inu. I actually hope it goes down, even though I hold a little bit of it still. Just because, I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily good for the crypto market. Not that the market cares what I think, but there's certain projects that I believe are world changing, and this is not one of them in my opinion. So anyways, that's what I think is going to happen. Just a little heads up, some good things on the way. I think most people have kind of forgotten about this Robinhood listing. That's why the price has gone down. The price surged on the rumor of it, but anyways, something to think about. Speaking of meme coins, Dogecoin, you all know Elon Musk, richest man in the world, holds a lot of Doge, and he wants to make it the currency. Anyways, just wanted to give this will probably catch some attention. Doge 1 moon mission set for launch with SpaceX in early 2022. The Dogecoin funded payload appears to be on track for launch in the first quarter of 2022 on board SpaceX's Falcon 9. Doge 1, the first crypto-funded mission to the moon, is set to launch early next year following a new partnership between two blockchain companies and manufacturer Geometric Energy Corporation, also known as GEC. This is a pretty big deal. Now, I just said that Shiba Inu is probably fundamentally more sound than Dogecoin, but obviously we have the Doge Foundation, and Elon Musk has been hiring developers to try and contribute to the fixing of Dogecoin's blockchain to make it better, not just a meme coin, to actually make it something. And that's pretty big deal. They're going to beat NASA to the moon on a crypto-funded launch. NASA's capstone was set to be the first CubeSat, I don't know what that means, to reach the moon, but it has been delayed a number of times and has a current launch date of late March 2022, the company says. This means that Doge 1 could be the first CubeSat in history to reach the moon, marking a significant achievement for global space flight. I imagine this CubeSat has something to do with Satoshis and just the funding of it being through cryptocurrency. Anyways, pretty big deal. Kind of cool, actually. Next, moving on from the meme coins, SEC Commissioner says DeFi must address transparency and pseudonymity. Commissioner Caroline Crenshaw wants DeFi projects to cooperate with the SEC in order to find solutions for compliance with existing regulations. Obviously, they want to regulate it. It needs to be regulated. Look at the number of scams that have existed in DeFi. And if you've been watching these videos, I believe very strongly in DeFi. I think it's the future. I think it renders banks irrelevant. Like you can make, like I'm making 55% a year on Splinterlands. Yeah, it's more volatile, like the price action than the U.S. dollar. Well, maybe not so much anymore with inflation claiming to be 6%. I'm more keen to that number than the government realizes. When my groceries went up 50% in costs, and gas has gone up 100% in costs. Anyways, not to get into that. Lumber, no, not to get into that. In the brave new DeFi world, to date, there has not been broad adoption of regulatory frameworks that deliver important protections in other markets. Protections. They want their tax money. That's what protections means in the financial world. Everybody knows that hopefully everybody knows that their risk is their own. We're big boys and girls. We have brains to protect ourselves, and if we take risks, we know there's an opportunity in losing money. Some people are willing to risk more than others. Protection means tax money. That's what that means. They want their tax money. That's all there is to it. And it's going to happen because that's just how it works. The IRS, you don't mess with the IRS. they're going to get there. So they're going to dip their hands into your pockets, and they're going to take your money. What they spend it on, is a lot of good things, like roads, fire protection, police, things like that. Those are the major ones. A lot of bad things, probably a lot of lies and deceit in there as well. And that's just speculation. I have no proof of that. But anyways, that's what this means is they understand DeFi is going to exist. They're thinking, how do we get our money from taxes, and how do we punish those who don't pay taxes? That's what protection means in the financial world. Anyways, it's a good thing. It just means that, for me, that DeFi is going to be around. And that's why I like DeFi. You can get much greater returns. You can get better returns, like even 5% on USD coin or 5 or 6% on USDT. I'd be a little more careful with USDT than USDC, just because of like the 5 years of USDT isn't backed enough by the US dollar, blah 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 blah. Anyways, so we'll be talking about a DeFi protocol, Barn Bridge, in the minutes to come. Last news article I want to share is the hype behind the metaverse. I've mentioned it's something you always want to be paying attention to because it's going to be bigger than people think. I think it's going to get into businesses and allow businesses to run employee-less. But my thoughts on Facebook and Meta, metaverse. To work for everyone, the metaverse must be decentralized. Should the metaverse ever come into existence? Well, it already is in Decentraland and stuff like that. It's just the start, and then you're going to have to be able to work within different metaverses without having separatism. Should the metaverse ever come into existence, blockchain technology and decentralization must be at the core of this innovation. I agree. I think that people will flock to Facebook or Meta. I think that it is probably a good investment long-term, fundamentally, because they are a very, very, very large company, and people tend to look at things in surface level. Most of the people aren't going to care about centralization. Look at cryptocurrency in general. You could use Uniswap. You could use PancakeSwap and trade on much, much lower fees than Uniswap. But people would rather have the ease and the comfort of a centralized exchange. So they're using Binance, they're using Coinbase, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I use those things. There's different pros and cons to centralization and decentralization. Look at DeFi. You see all the scams that happen. There's a trust issue with that, right? Well, we've been learning from it in this space and been getting better with it. I haven't read about any scams recently, but anyways, expect these companies to also get into metaverse. TikTok's already partnered with Immutable X for their NFTs. Another one that I've been slowly building a position into. Anyways, Snapchat, all these social media platforms are going to get into the metaverse. I guarantee it. There's no doubt in my mind. Have I been wrong about things in the past? Yes. Excuse me, still a tiny bit sick. Okay, so let's close out of these and let's get into the prices and the price action, and let's talk about a couple different cryptocurrencies. Let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin reaching new all-time highs, reaching 69,000 exactly on the dot. These meme coin people really want to see 69,420. That's just because, well, technically I'm a millennial, so we're just immature. I think I'm actually a joint of blue collar and white collar. I am a hard worker and don't feel like I deserve anything unless I put forth hard work towards it, where I'm also at a white collar or millennial where I feel like I'd rather invest and not have to do anything, and not necessarily that I'm entitled to anything, but I get to the point where I hate working too much. So it's a tough balance for me. Call it bipolar, call it what you want. So Bitcoin trading right at resistance, previous all-time highs, and if you are, I don't know if I mentioned it in the videos, I definitely mentioned it in Stock Market Mentor, that leverage on Bitcoin is at an all-time high. So usually when that happens, we see a little flush out. My thoughts were that we'd see 70,000, give or take a little bit, and then we'd kind of fade into Friday, maybe see a quick washout in the weekend, and then a bounce back to where we closed out on Friday, and then we continue to run up, because I do see us running up very big in the next month or two, mainly because we're reaching the end of the bull run. I feel like 2-3 months left, and the supply on exchanges is getting extremely low, so it's going to be incredibly easy for big money to push the price up, get people to flood in and start buying because they're going to chase it, and start selling. So Bitcoin dominance, we're below the 50 and 200 day moving average. Altcoins have been looking pretty decent, just grinding up. And again, this is what happened last time in 2017, is we had this slow movement, and then all of a sudden we went up like 2, 3, 400%. Total 3 without Ethereum, looking strong as well, looking pretty similar. And Bitcoin moving up and altcoins and dominance is dropping. That means that altcoins are moving up a little quicker. Ethereum grinding up. There's no reason to be selling this at all. This is looking very good uptrend. It's a kind of buy the dip scenario. When it drops, pick it up. When it drops, pick it up. So looking very good. RSI is at 68, so it's not even into overbought territory yet, where Bitcoin is, where are we at? Also 68, so kind of replicating each other. Altcoin market cap getting a little bit more overbought, so we might see a little spike here. So anyways, what are we looking at? So we mentioned metaverse. The lesson today is don't chase. You chase, you lose. Happens every single time. Maybe 99.9% out of 100. So put this into the back of your head. I want to go into Barn Bridge first because it happened a little quicker yesterday. If you've been following me on Twitter, in Stock Market Mentor, or just in these videos, you know that I really like DeFi, and I really like Barn Bridge. Barn Bridge is something that's going to protect the high wealth investor per their risk tolerance. You have what's called epochs, and you have a junior and a senior, and it's always going to have these new epochs, however you want to pronounce it. You have these junior and seniors, and it's going to have downside protection, and it's going to have upside exposure. And there's only 7.7 million total value locked right now. I think that slowly that's going to build, and that's what I'll be watching. So when I see something spike up 100%, from, let's see, it was definitely below 30. That's the hourly, I'm sorry. It was definitely below 30 a few days ago. So we went from a low of 29 on the 7th to a high of 60, so over 100%. That's not the time to buy, right? The time to buy was in this consolidation. It could have come back down to this 50-day moving average, sure. That would suck to see 60, but now we know what we're looking at now. Generally, these wicks are, not something to pay attention to, but this is what people are going to be watching. So that's going to be what we want to look to break through. Anyways, don't chase. You chase, you lose 100% of the time. And here's what happens, right? Is you get these emotions inside you. I didn't buy or sell any, by the way. This is like a 2 to 3 month hold for me through this. It's pretty much everything I hold right now. All these positions. I have all these positions, and it's a lot. It's more than I'm used to. These are all my positions right here. And if I'm not listing this on here, then they are probably a trade. Anyways, those are my positions, and it's a lot to watch already. So I don't really care to get all crazy and get in. If I'm getting into a position, it's going to be well thought out, and it's not just going to be on a whim. But so here's what happens. Let's talk about Barn Bridge first. So what happened yesterday is it went from low of 33 to a high of 60. Would I have been paying attention and I actually saw it hit 60? Yeah, I would have probably taken a little bit off the table with the intent of buying back in should it drop and holding should it continue to go up. But I mean, look at this RSI, hits 85 on the hourly. That's really high. Generally not going to hold those levels there. But so here's what happens is you see this, and you're like, oh, I missed it, dang it, and you see it come back down, and you're like, okay, good, I didn't buy, and then you start chasing people's emotions go crazy, and they're like, oh, I can't miss this, I got fear of missing out, so they sell another coin, and they buy into this one, and it's like, that's not good. You don't want to buy things, you don't want to be, like, selling one of your positions to buy things that have, like, gone up 50, 40%, because here's what happens, you get in here, right, let's say you get in at, like, $42, and it goes up to 60, and you're like, yes, I'm up. Oh, I'm so glad I got in. And then all of a sudden, now it's 37. Now you're down. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. I've been through this many times. It's happened to me many times. So trust me, I've been through it. Now we're at the point, where it's a good point to scale in. Should you not have gotten in at 27 or 28? Should you believe that it still goes up, which I do. I've just been watching this for a long time, and it just looked like it's been accumulated over the last year. So what happens there is you get so why did it sell off? Well, number one, it went up way higher than it should have, squeezed a little bit, just high volume. Same thing that happened here on the 15th of October, where it was mentioned on a podcast. Mark Yusko mentioned that he liked Bond, and that's what initially caught my attention. And fortunately enough, I watched the video back here. I watched the video 3 days later after it came out, the podcast recording. So I did start buying in the high 20s, and then it dropped. My average buy is about 27, 28. But anyways, don't chase. That's what happens. Be patient. When you feel your emotions going off, the worst decisions are made when you're emotional, on highs and on lows. When you're high, you tend to be a little more loose with your money. When you're low, you tend to be a little bit more strict and you clutch onto your money. But that's what happens. It happened with Decentraland too. Let's go to the 4 hour, which actually looks like it's flagging here pretty nicely. People watch this go up, and then you get these emotions, and it went up from 78 cents to $3. And you're like, holy cow, I'm not going to miss out on this, because they saw Shiba Inu run 800%. And so they buy right here, goes up to 5, and you're thinking, oh man, that's awesome. From 3 to 5, I'm up 67%. Great. And now you're in the red, 261. It always does come. There always comes a time where the price will level out for a bit. You got 1, 2, 3. You're looking at. Looks like this is actually ready to go fairly shortly in a few days, within the next week or so, I would say. Anyways, same thing. You can't be chased. You got to let the price level out. You just have to. 99.9 times out of 100, you chase, you lose. Maybe there was that one time where you chased and it just kept on going, and that's going to create bad habits, but you just don't chase. This is a much better area to start scaling into a position in Barnbridge. So what happened, is there's probably a pump group on it, probably a pump group, that they saw. It does have a low supply, that if they can get a bunch of followers behind it, they can pump up the price and they could sell into it. There's probably a lot of bag holders that bought in the 50s, right here, or 60s, or even 70s. And they said, oh my God, thank God this went back up to 60. I'm going to get out. And oh man, I was down 65%, and now I'm back to even. I'm good, and they sold. I thank God. There's also bag holders from way back here when they first launched. They were a 3-digit coin, and I see them going back to there, and this was without Smart Alpha. But I see them definitely going back here, in my opinion. But there's bag holders from back here. There's bag holders from March, where it was $88. So a lot of resistance there that has got to get broken through. Personally, I would watch this total value locked, see if that goes up. That would give me confirmation that the project is working. But you see the hype behind. I think DeFi is really good. Another very high risk one that I like is DeFi Click. They are producing DeFi protocols on different ecosystems. They just moved to Moonriver or Moonbeam, whichever one exists currently. They moved to. Anyways, they have over 10 million total value locked, and they are a $2 million market cap. But so paying attention to DeFi, paying attention to Barnbridge, these are higher risk ones, so they're not ones you want to put a ton of money into. Just want to remind you of that. DeFi Click, anyways, I have my VPN on, so it's not allowing me because I'm in a certain location. Anyways, moving on to other things that are happening right now, and then we'll end the video. Just wanted to put that lesson out there because, I was getting a little excited and people were talking about, I'm buying it. No, don't buy it. Don't chase it. don't chase it. Don't chase. If you're gonna chase by very, very, very little, so then, I mean, I'd much rather, buy after something has come back down after a huge gain and not have the stress of watching that come down and being in it than chasing. Sorry, I'd much rather not have the stress of watching my investment come down and then go into the red, and I'd even rather buy in a little higher when it's a better setup. Just my opinion. Anyways, things that are going on right now. Solana conference is coming to an end today. Probably see a little pullback after that. Support is the previous all-time high. We got 218.93. I could see us possibly coming a little lower than that, back down to the 50-day moving average, roughly. But we are showing a little bit of a bull flag here on the daily, so maybe there'll be a big announcement. I don't know, but like I said, I sold half my Solana at $125, and I've just been holding it, and I'm holding it until the bull market is over. Polkadot has their parachain launches tomorrow. We got auction date starts tomorrow. So Akala is the big one over, I don't know, there's I forget exactly how much, but it's just been growing and growing and growing. It's like 1% of the total DOT supply is in the Akala crowd loan. So if that wins, 1% of the total DOT supply is locked up forever. I have DOT as a core position. I've bought into a trade, typically anticipating a lot of excitement behind this tomorrow, and people have to buy DOT to buy into these crowd loans. So you got Solana ending, you got DOT. So we're going to probably the rest of the month pretty much see Bitcoin. Bitcoin's always going to be the one that not always going to be, but it has been in the past the first mover. Metaverse, looking at Super and Stock Market Mentor, I mentioned that I did sell a good chunk of it. I'm looking for 130s to buy back into it. Should it not come down there, which I don't know, it may not. I'll be watching it, and if something pops out to me, then I will evaluate that. But Superfarm, as mentioned, I think will be a better metaverse than Decentraland. Just got to come out with this stuff, soon. soon is all I hear. But anyways, and then the last one that I started a position in is Render. They announced at the Solana conference that they will be transitioning onto the Solana ecosystem, and they're essentially going to render. That's their name, the metaverse. So I like that. The only thing I don't like is that their RSI when I first bought in was 85, so I have a very small position. I am looking for a pullback. Will that happen? I don't know. But with indicators like the stochastic RSI and RSI being very high, I'm going to listen to that and not make a poor decision. But I have a little bit, tiny bit, and we'll see where it goes from there. That's the video today. I just thought it was very important because you don't want to chase into these things that are up 100% or 50%. You want to wait for good entries, and you want to buy on your entry indicators, whatever those might be. For me, I just know that every time I've bought at something that's 100% gain, it has ended up not being a good decision. So if you are going to chase, keep it very small, or buy with the intent to sell very quickly, and then buy on a pullback. So gone through all these things, and I do like DeFi. Solana conference is ending. I do like Polkadot, and I like it into tomorrow. I think there's going to be some excitement building. I do like Barnbridge. I think that's one of those potential 10xers. I could see it at $300 at the end of this bull run. I say some crazy things in crypto, but a lot of times I'm right on it, and I've been through this before, and I've seen I was in Tronix when it went up 1,000% within the course of a few days. I was in XRP when it went from 30 cents to $1.38, and then it went to $3. I was in Litecoin when it went from like 95 or whatever to a little over 100, and then it came down, and then I was out of it, and it ran to $400 or whatever. I've seen these things happen, and they do happen, and they probably will happen again. The key thing is to not chase and take profits on the way up, because everything that goes up must come down, and there will be an end to this bull run regardless of the mass adoption. There will be corrections, and there will be drops. So always important to lock in profits and keep profits on the way up. Anyways, I want to end this video because I have to get going, and I covered everything that I want to. So glad that this remained shorter than an hour. Where are we at? 28 minutes, under a half an hour, so pretty good. So just wanted to talk about that and those few things. And like I said, I think that Bitcoin, will probably fade into Friday and maybe see a little washout on the weekend. I don't know. It's just my kind of thought process that when we see leverage this high, we usually get a little shakeout. So I would see, let the excitement get high and then crush spirits a little bit and then continue the run. So if you're a long-term holder, this is probably just going to be a little blip on the chart, but just something to watch out for heading into this weekend that could happen. Nothing's for certain. Anyways, please, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it greatly. On my way to 1,000 subscribers. Really have that goal. I would be really happy if I hit that one day, and then I'll make a new goal and maybe invest a little bit more into my channel in the editing or something like that, or I don't know. We'll see. I just want to keep growing this and keep doing this. I really enjoy it, and I hope everybody gets benefit from this content. So please hit the like, please hit the subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.